Good evening and welcome to part 2 with Jim Nemley from the Better Business Builders. And we are so happy that you have come back to join Jim with this awesome information. In part 2, Jim will discuss the SOHO loan program.
Well, I'm glad that we're able now to roll out this part. You know,
Yes.
Business owners often say, if only I had some money, if only I had some money. And we know that it's not just the access to capital, but it's also business acumen. But it's both things. Once you understand what it is to run a business, now you need to understand how to finance it. But what's unfortunate is a lot of small business owners don't have good credit. They may be in an industry that banks don't like to lend to. And, you know, and another thing is that small business owners are famous for using the plastic to run their business. And they start running high balances and they are credit risk. So what happened is about...
But Jim, before you go there, would
Sure.
you explain what SOHO means for the viewers?
That's what I'm getting ready to do now.
Okay, thanks. All right.
SOHO stands for small office, home office, and it doesn't mean you have to have a small home office to qualify for this particular financing. It's just that the particular bank that we're in contract with, Innovative Bank out of Oakland, California, they're licensed with the SBA to do their loan program. The SBA has a loan program called Community Express. They also have a program called the SBA Express. And banks that align themselves with the SBA are being given guarantees on loans that the banks will do. So we are contracted with the Innovative Bank out of Oakland for their SOHO loan program, and we're certified with the SBA as technical assistance providers. Now, what happens with this particular program, I'll speak first about the Community Express loan program. It's been set up for minority, women-owned, and veteran-owned businesses. Okay? Now, let me hear you say no.
No.
All right. Let me hear you say no again.
No.
All right. Now, when I put my finger up, you say no. All right. With this program, you absolutely don't have to worry about, and you don't need, and you will not ever have to go through
No.
collateral.
Ah.
All right. There's
No.
business plan required. There are
No.
financials. There's
No.
credit scoring. And with all of that, we provide 1 year of, I hate to say this word, but I will, free technical assistance.
So with all those no, it still gets something free.
And still get something free.
I hope you all are writing this
yes.
down.
Well, Community Express, again, the value of the program lies in the fact that the SBA provides an 85% guarantee to the banks that are running the program. So what happens in this particular program, you're going to say, well, that sounds too good to be true. And I'm going to tell you right now, no, it's not. We provide financing for businesses coast to coast.
Awesome. Awesome, because
Coast
a
to
lot
coast.
of times you need to be registered in the state where the program is and all of that. So this is good news for the viewers to hear.
If any of your viewers went to our website, it's www.betterbizbuilders.com. All right, you get to our site, go down to the bottom where it says learn more about financing your dream. Click that. all of the program outline is right
Right there
there.
for them.
Go all the way down to the bottom. You click download. You could download an application, follow the instructions, get in touch with me, and I'll walk you through the system.
Yeah, because a lot, a lot of small business people hear about the small business loan and they think, I don't have this document and I don't have documents. So this is really good for the person who is out there, an entrepreneur, a small business owner.
It's excellent. The program runs like this. You can borrow anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000, and for loans of $5,000 to $25,000, the interest rate is prime plus 4.75%, and you can borrow from $35,000 to $50,000, and the interest rate is prime plus 3.25%.
Awesome. It doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't. It's a 7-year loan program. There's no prepayment penalty. And guess what? They even finance startups.
Awesome, awesome,
Startups.
awesome, awesome. Because there's a lot of, I'm sure there's a lot of viewers who are watching right now, and they have this passion, especially up here in New England. You go into all the different towns, and people are so talented and creative. I went into a home over in Stanford, and the lady, all of the tiles in her home is made by her.
Beautiful.
And I go around and I look, I say, my God, people are so talented.
Right,
But a
right.
lot of things, you'll say, why don't you take this on a bigger level? And that's
Well,
the reason they don't have the money
They
to
don't
do
have
that.
the money, or they unwisely use money to start their businesses.
Start their
And then the
businesses.
business fails
Fail.
because it's underfinanced.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Banks typically banks won't finance you if you have been in business less than 2 years. Typically, some banks do startup funding. All right, but now what they're doing is they're, well, in any case, they're looking at the business owner's personal finances.
Yeah.
And if you have less than a 700 credit score,
Forget it.
forget about it.
Forget it.
Now, with the Community Express Loan Program, you don't have to worry about that because, again, they do not credit score. What Innovative Bank looks at is they look at your Experian history report. If you've had a bankruptcy, if the bankruptcy has been discharged for a year and you've reestablished credit, no problem. Well, what about tax liens? If you have satisfied those liens, no problem. What about judgments? If you satisfied your judgments, no problem. What about collection accounts? If you've got a letter showing you satisfied those collection accounts, no problem. No problem. You have, all of your credit must be current at the time of application. All right. The whole idea behind the program is not only to provide you some level of financing, but again, it's coupled with technical assistance. You know what I feel and how I feel about what business owners need to know about running a business.
Exactly.
I've seen
Go
people
with
with
that in
too
number
much money, and they'll get money and ruin themselves because now that you have the money, what are you going to do with it? All right? So now here's this child. They need to get someplace that's 10 miles down the road, and they can't ever get there because it's too far to go and they don't know what to do. So their parent gives them a car and hands them the key. What are they going to do? If they put them behind that wheel, they're going to kill themselves. In many cases, a business owner, without understanding how to operate their business, you'll give them the money and they kill themselves. Lack of money isn't the primary problem with a small business. It's the lack of ability
To
in
manage
utilizing it properly.
Yes. Yes.
That's what you have to look at, and this is what we provide as SBA technical assistance providers. We provide the technical support to make certain that the business owner knows what they're doing when they get that
the money.
financing. And of course, we provide it for free under the SBA federal government guidelines. Now, with this particular program, like I said, it's for minority, women-owned, and veteran-owned businesses. Here's what's so beautiful about the veteran-owned businesses. If you're a veteran and you're starting a business or you have a business, when you're financed, you get 90 days before you make your first payment. Now that sounds great. Lots of people offer deferred payment plans. But what you don't really realize until you read the small print, the deferred payment plan you're being given, well, once the loan has been funded, the interest has been accruing. So while you're not making any payments, the interest is still accruing. This is a true 90 days.
No
The clock
interest accruing,
doesn't
no
start
payment until
for
90
the first
days.
90 days. Doesn't start.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you point that out, because a lot of times we read the large print and we don't look on the small print, and that's what gets us all the time.
Oh, well, that gets a lot of these folks. Like if you're out there and you're using your credit card to run your business, you have to be extremely cautious. In our last segment, I was speaking about your business's margins. And if you don't know what margin you ought to be running with on your business, stop what you're doing and find out. Google North American Industrial Coding System, NAICS. Google that. Find out what your industry code is. Then go to the library. Go to a good library that has a business resource librarian. Ask them for the Risk Management Association's annual statement report book. With that book, you'll be able to take your number, you'll be able to look up your business inside of your industry in that book. And people think that because I have a small business that it's inconsequential, that there are no standards. When you open up the book, there you are inside of your industry. Now, I don't care how small you are and how large other businesses are inside of that industry. What they do is they break it down in annual revenue range.
Awesome.
0 to 500,000, 500,000 to 2 million, 2 million to 10 million, and on and on and on. Then they use percentages, they use margins, all right, the whole 9 yards. So it's apples to apples, oranges to oranges. So here you are with a startup business. You're not really making much money, but your business falls between the 0 and 500,000. Now you see against your industry what your numbers ought to be, and an incredibly important number you need to look at, especially if you're selling items, is your margin. All right, because the margin is there to let you know how much you need to make over and above so that you can replace what you're selling and still make a profit.
And it's not just whether it's products or services. It just falls in the same category.
It's either cost of goods sold or it's cost of sales. It costs you to provide services. All right, well, then when you sell your service, are you getting back the value of what you laid out to provide the service? Okay. I've had a situation where one owner had me look at his financials. He has a furniture store, and the people across the street from them he used to work for, and then he left there, and he and his father opened up their own shop. So I started studying their financials, and it scared the daylights out of me. I went in and I said, "Where did you get your margin from?" He said, "I got my margin from the place I used to work at across the street."
But they probably making more than him.
The place across the street makes 12 to 15 million a year. They were under 100,000. So what was happening, this is how it works out when you don't understand your margins.
That's right.
If he sold 10 chairs, he'd only be able to replace 3.
Guy was operating off a higher.
He was
That's why you have
operating
to
off
know
of
the education
wrong.
and the
You have to
information.
understand. So now when you use a credit card, right, here's Daphne Clarke-Hudson, and she's sitting side by side with her competition, selling the same thing for the exact same amount of money. You use the exact same supplier, the same vendor for the product. So you go, your competition goes in one day, and they purchase X amount of product, and they go back and they start selling it. You go, you purchase the exact same amount. The difference between the two of you, your credit's not all that good, so you're using plastic. Your competition's credit is real good. They're getting
using cash.
terms.
That's right, 30
They're
days or
getting
whatever.
30, 60, whatever, 45, whatever. All right, they're getting terms. All right? So they sell the exact same amount of product that you sell in the exact same time frame. Did you make the exact same money?
No.
No way, because you have
I
to add
made
the
less
interest
because
rate.
I have to pay the interest rate on the credit card.
Absolutely. And what's going to be bad about that, you're not going to turn around and pay the whole thing in 30 days. You're going to just
So
pay
you
the
accrue
minimum.
again. That's
So
right.
15 years from now, you're still
paying
paying
for those shares.
hello.
Whatever.
All right? That's a problem. That's a huge problem. When do you ever catch up?
In a situation of that, you never.
Exactly. So here,
So you have to
having the
close
money
business,
is
yeah.
one thing. Understanding what to do with the
it.
money,
It's another.
that's another thing, because it's about using that money properly. And with this particular program, like I said, we do provide free technical assistance. The money's very easy to get. Now, it's not a giveaway, all right? Don't think it's a giveaway. It's not a giveaway. The government is just conscious of the fact, the same entity, the Small Business Administration, that's providing the statistics on business failure, also offer guarantees on loans like this. The banks cannot provide the financing if they're not contracted with the
small business,
or are not contracted with the technical a
assistance.
certified
Because
technical
SBA
assistant
sees that
yes.
the technical support
Assistance, yes.
is essential for the success of these small business people that are getting.
Absolutely. There is
So
a
it comes
direct
together.
correlation.
Wonderful.
There's a direct correlation.
Wonderful.
So you have the cash, you have the training.
And
at
you
the
know
end of the
together
story, there should
you're
be a
going
good
to
business.
advance. You're going to be able to build the
You're
business,
going to be able to
not
build
to
the business.
pack it up.
Absolutely.
But
That's
to
why
build
we
the
call
business.
ourselves the Better Business Builders.
Awesome.
We help build businesses.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, because a lot of people, they'll be in business and they pack up and they really don't know why they pack up.
No,
You
they'll
know?
say again, the whipping block is always the economy. As if you're an economist.
I tell people nothing is wrong with the economy. There's a lot of money in the economy. The one thing I'll say is that it's probably not circulating, and there's a reason why it's not circulating too. If you know how to do what you're doing, a lot is going to be coming your way.
Well, it's funny,
know?
when you look at others, you say to yourself, oh, how come that company is making it, I'm not making it? We're doing the same thing.
The other thing too, Jim, that I think is affecting most of us small business people, we want to be lone rangers.
You can't.
And you can't be lone ranger, especially if you're looking to create wealth. You cannot. You got to collaborate. You got to
Business
be with others.
collaboration
It's
is
important.
essential.
It's essential.
Also, understanding that every business is inside of an industry.
Exactly.
All right?
Exactly.
If every business is inside of an industry, and you're out there all by yourself and you don't know what's going on inside of your industry, or what I usually get is, well, where do you get your information about your business and so forth? All right, what I get all the time is, oh, I'm following the competition. I follow my competition. You know what I tell them when they tell me they're following the competition? Look at the bumper sticker. I bet you it says, don't follow me, I'm lost too.
That's right.
All right?
Exactly.
I'm following the competition. What does the competition know? Nothing. I've worked with over 1,500 business owners. I'm talking about that I've directly contracted and I've worked with directly. Over and above that, speaking across the country, I've spoken to thousands of business owners. And I will tell you this, there's only one way to succeed in business, and that's to understand business.
That's right.
Understand the business of business. Understand your industry. Understand your marketplace. Understand your competition. Understand and get yourself in a position, preparing yourself for financing and then using it properly.
Yeah, a lot of small business, when they talk about the competition, they are looking on the dollar amount. And, they're not looking on the customer service and all the aspect of the competition. And they go there and they undercut the price and figure they're
and that's
beating.
so dangerous.
It's
Let me tell you
dangerous.
about undercutting prices. Say, for instance, if my client, now if there's the competition across the street, they make between 12 and 15 million a year. My client is just going over. They've been in business a short period of time. They're around 150,000 and they're climbing. So now, what if they were selling the exact same product? All right, the exact same chairs. Well, if they think that they're going to do better than the people across the street by selling them cheaper, well, let's think about that a moment. The quote-unquote competition, because of volume and credibility, is purchasing that chair for a whole lot less than you're purchasing it for.
That's right.
All right? You're purchasing it for more and you're selling it for less. You remember what we said about margins? Okay? You completely obliterated your margin.
That's right.
As
You
a
put
matter of
yourself
fact,
out
the
of
lower
business.
you go, the more you'll have to spend just to get to break even.
That's right.
Business
That's
owners hate that term break even. Oh, I didn't go into business to break even. I went into business to make a profit. Well, you know, you got to break even before you make a
To
profit.
make a profit, yeah, you know, you have to understand what it
What
takes.
break even is.
Yes, and what does it take to make a profit?
I'll give
You
you
know?
a for instance. I have a chart in my office. In the left-hand column of that chart are margins, all right, business margins. And across the top, there are discount percentages, all right? So say, for instance, this particular store, their margin is 35% in their industry, in their size business, 35%. What if they wanted to put a 15% discount on their products, all right? If you took that chart, you put your finger on the 35% margin, put your finger on the 15%. In the center of the grid, you have percentages that you need to sell over and above what you're currently selling in order to reach profitability, in order to reach break even, rather.
Right.
So when you're looking at a 35% margin and you want a 15% discount and you put your fingers together, it will show you you have to sell 75% more in order to get to break even.
But we just, a small business owner, we just hear the word break even and we think it's a dirty word.
It's a good
and we
word.
don't understand what
you
it
know
is.
Why? You know why? Breaking even without a budget in place, breaking even without your financials listed out, making certain that you're in there, your employees in there, replace. If you don't have that in place, well, breaking even means you're not making any money.
Any
Wait
money
a
at
second.
all.
If salaries, if taxes, if everything is in there and you're breaking even, then everything got paid, including
right.
your bills.
That's right. That's right.
All
That's
right.
right. That's right. We have another 5 minutes remaining in this episode, and we, you know, this is so much stuff to talk about. We're going to have you back up to Connecticut. I mean, this is good stuff. You have a lot of great information to benefit people. So with this mere 5 minutes that we have remaining, what are the closing thoughts?
Well, the closing thoughts and what I would direct people to do is definitely go to our website, www.betterbizbuilders.com. Go down the page and where it says Financing Your Dream, learn more, click that. It's going to give you all the information about the loan program. Click download. You'll be able to get all the applications. You'll be able to get everything that you need. Give me a call. Contact information is there. I'll walk you through the process of doing the application. Just do everything that's there. And we'll help you to finance your dream. And not only finance your dream, but also pay for it. You know, what people fail to do, people fail to act. People fail to act. The young lady was running through the woods. And as she was running through the woods, she heard this dog howling. So she's wondering what was going on. She keeps hearing this dog howling. Finally, she turns the bend and she sees a little small farmhouse. And there's an old man sitting there rocking and a dog. And every once in a while, the dog would raise his head and howl. So she runs over to the farmhouse. She says, "Sir, what's the matter with your dog?" He said, "Oh, that old dog, he's sitting on a rusty nail." And the young lady looked at him and says, "Sir, why is that dumb dog sitting on the nail?" Old man looked at her and said, I guess it just don't hurt him enough. Folks, if you need financing and if you need direction in your business, you're going to act on this offer. If you don't, I guess it just don't hurt you enough.
And the SBA, to the other part that I think you need to reiterate is that it is free.
It's free. The technical assistance, it's free. And no collateral, no business plan, no credit scoring, no financials.
Right. And the SBA is making this available for people across the nation.
Country, wherever you show this.
You are.
People in St. Louis need financing. They give me a call. I'll help them get their financing.
That's right.
Anywhere.
So it is there because a lot of times people look and say, I'm not qualified for the big SBA loan. But here is the Soho loan program.
Well, I laugh when they say they're not qualified for the big SBA loan because they don't understand what an SBA loan is. A bank makes the loan.
That's
the
right.
SBA
SBA guarantees
the
it.
SBA guarantees it.
Okay,
right. They don't give it.
That's right. We have 2 minutes remaining, so what else would we like to tell the people?
What else in 2 minutes?
In 2 minutes.
I can yawn for 2 minutes. Good stuff in business. Well, good stuff in business is take us up on this offer, all right? Because it's not just financing. It's also business technical assistance. Remember what I said in the first segment. If you are not able to do a typical business model, as a matter of fact, I'm going to make this free offer to you. It's on my site. When you click in, register, and take a free business effectiveness evaluation. Click in, register. You'll see the link there. It's free. Take that, submit it. I'll give you a free hour of business counseling to tell you what you need to do based on that evaluation.
Wonderful.
All right, so I'll throw that in just for you, Daphne.
Oh, thank you.
Just for you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And, you know, I'm going to tell the viewers to stay tuned because we will have Jim back in the near future. He can't say no to us here.
No.
Because I know there are a lot of people here in this area, in all our airing town and cities that can benefit with this. Jim,
and I hope they do. I hope they act on it.
You know, I thank you for taking this time to come up here and so eloquently educating us about this program because I know when I met you was the first time I was hearing about it. So I don't know how many other small business owners in Connecticut or out in St. Louis have not heard about the program. So I want to thank you.
Excellent.
And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure to have you. Having me. And for those of you again who once again did tune into A New Day, we love you, we bless you, and we want to remind you, never settle for mediocrity because you have the ability in which to create excellence. Be blessed.